Hi, Next Change, Vivian here. I'm here to talk about the early signs of the narcissist, of being in a narcissistic relationship. And, a lot of times the reason why I say the early signs are because they're kind of obscure. It's like it's not anything that's right there in your face, but it's in your face all the time. So, for instance, one sign is that you kind of don't know what's going on. You have this person and they're being really nice, exceptionally nice, but then they're saying and acting in certain ways that seem a little off. Like, first you attribute it to their personality, but then it's like you could be talking to them and then they'll, like, how should I say? When you get off the phone, it's almost like you wondered what happened. Like you're never clear about where you stand with that person, or where they stand with you, or were things clear. Whereas with most people, when you talk to them, when you get off the phone, you know that there was a connection or there wasn't a connection, or you know what the person's intentions are. At least you feel like you do. And it just seems like a mature kind of conversation going. But with the narcissist, it's not like that. It's like dancing with somebody who's definitely taking the lead, but there's no synchronicity. It's like you're always left wondering what happened. So, for instance, I remember, I'll give an example. There was this one narcissist I was involved with, and we would talk on the phone, and everything would seem fine, or at least I thought it was fine. And then 6 o'clock the next morning, I'd get like a long text or a long message saying, I just wanted to clarify something. And it would be something that you would never even think needed to be clarified. Like you would have to play the whole thing back and wonder where that came from. And then when the clarifying is coming, it's like, well, no, I wasn't offended. It's weird. Their way of communicating is weird. So every time you think you guys have made some kind of gain in the relationship, it could be a day later, it could be 2 days later, but something's going to come up and it's going to be, I noticed that you said blah, 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 blah. And, I just wondered if you were really thinking about what you were saying. And then you think about it, and it could be nothing. It could be, oh, you have my favorite shirt on. I really like that shirt. And then 4 days later, it could be, I really felt bad. And I think what you were saying was, that I wear that shirt a lot. And I really just wore the shirt because I think it's a nice shirt. I mean, is it a problem? It just, anything could turn into a problem. So you're always clarifying and you're always apologizing. So I guess I said all that to say this. All that you hear in the background, you probably hear the fireworks. It's the 4th of July. And people are just really doing a lot out there. But that's what it is. If you find yourself in a relationship where everything is always being clarified, everything is always misunderstood, and you have to go over it and over it and over the smallest minuscule thing. And then you find yourself apologizing all the time. Those are the early signs that you're with a narcissist. Because the whole clarifying thing is what starts the gaslighting. It's the beginning. It's the preemptive foundation for the gaslighting that's going to come. Because if you're always clarifying and you think everything went well, and then you wake up to a long text message and you always have to clarify something, and I just want to make sure, it just throws you off. Because then you never know when something went really good, and when they call you, it really isn't really good, it's really bad. And then you have to apologize. And one thing that you'll know as you deal with a narcissist, they love apologies. They love apologies. Because that means that they, number one, gaslighted you into thinking that you were crazy or you were wrong. And secondly, they're so arrogant and they have such a superiority complex that they can never be wrong. So if anything happened, you're wrong and you need to apologize. And they'll ask. They won't even beat around the bush for an apology. They'll straight out ask you for the apology that you owe them. And they'll tell you, in no uncertain terms, that they feel like they deserve one. So that's what I wanted to say. So those are the early signs. All this clarification for nothing. And the apologies. You always apologizing to keep the peace. Or because in the beginning you really believe that you did something wrong. So they'll make you feel like you were wrong, you misspoke, you hurt their feelings, you were inappropriate, whatever the case is. Those are the early signs. So, I wanted to come to you today. I said I was going to do more videos on narcissism. I know there's a plethora of them out there, and, some of them are really, really good. And, and I think that the best way to get yourself free from a narcissistic relationship is to listen to videos like this, and to listen to what resonates, and, to understand the patterns and to learn what's happening to you, and once you understand what's happening to you, you can get free. So anyway, next exchange, take care, and I'll come back with another video.